Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to Small Malice Reacts. I'm trying to slip this in before I have my first major meal of the day, lunch. And while my voice is still in contact and willing to work with us. So our first video for the day, and we'll see about if I can stream or not later on. I also have a stream this evening with the Unearthly podcast. Doing Doctor Who stuff. Finally talk about the special that we've been sitting on for how long. But anyways, Paranormal Files. Most haunted place in Texas, the Devil's Theater, terrifying paranormal activity on camera. These long, rambling titles. Anyways, let's have a look, see what we're looking at here. And I'm going to... obviously, viewer discretion advised. Let's see what we got.
In the heart of downtown Mineola is where you can catch a movie or a spooky experience.
Sometimes when you're sitting in the dark in one of these seats, you'll feel something kind of brush up against your shoulder.
Well, there's definitely a few spirits in there. And I've got to the point where I have to turn on my music really loud when I'm in there by myself because I hear voices coming from the auditorium.
And this particular side of the stage, we think it's a portal.
We had one back here that was causing problems that it would actually attack people.
We have a little girl named Abby. You'll probably run into her tonight. You don't disrespect Abby, and she doesn't like men. They called me and said, look, the voices from the other side are saying you've got something nasty here and it needs to go. Is one of you guys sensitive? Are you feeling a little bit of heaviness back here right now? I'm feeling something in here now. Welcome to the Select Theater.
On tonight's episode, we're investigating a haunted movie theater.
You were concerned about Abby?
Yes.
Oh, this one over here.
I'm a child. Take picture.
My baby boy.
He wants me.
Get that, Connor, get that.
Right next to me. Right next to me. What the heck? Dude, they keep flying off.
The Theater of Doom.
On tonight's episode of the Paranormal Files, you better pop that popcorn and buy your ticket because we're investigating a haunted movie theater. Welcome to the Select Theater here in Mineola, Texas.
The Select Theater.
Interesting and somewhat disturbing history from segregated seating to a tornado that almost wiped the building off the face of the earth.
Very long history then.
So join us tonight as we investigate this notorious property that's home to multiple pesky spirits. My name's Colin Brown, and you're watching the Paranormal Files.
So this town was really cool. I mean, the history that has gone in and out of this place, but also how long this theater's been around. It was really cool to see. I mean, even just being able to go backstage. But then you start hearing the stories that people have witnessed there. And being in theater, I mean, I used to do that in high school. You realize, like, you spend a lot of time in these places. And so, obviously, the more you spend time in a haunted location like this, the more available you are to hearing and seeing things that might be happening around you, especially the supernatural. This place was really creepy, and it had some really cool stories behind it. Not necessarily evil stories, but some very interesting ones.
So theaters are really, really interesting locations. I've done a couple of them. Did a theater in Oklahoma. I did a theater in New York. I did a theater in my hometown of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And there's always a duality in theaters. There seems to be this very positive energy that is really, really nice, and everybody who's involved with the theater loves. It's a playful, happy spirit. And then there always seems to be this more malicious, unexplained, darker energy. If you're not familiar with what a ghost light is basically a light that in famous old haunted theaters, and even non-famous theaters, they keep this light in the center of the stage at times when it's all dark in the auditorium. It's an old superstition to keep the spirits away. And I noticed that in this theater they didn't have a ghost light, so I don't know if that plays into the fact that this place ended up being so haunted, but yeah, as you'll see in this historical tour that we're about to get into, there is that playful energy here in the theater, and then there's also this darker, more unexplained, malicious energy. Here in the interview, they claim that it's from a little girl who just likes to play tricks on people and scare them, but as you know, a lot of paranormal theories, little girls aren't always little girls.
Not always, yes.
Yeah, just check this out. This tour is super interesting, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy this one.
Hi, my name's Jeff
Get my
Hurley.
honey cough
I'm president of
drop.
the Board of Governors here at Lake Country Playhouse Select Theater. I'm glad you guys are here tonight. We're fixing to go inside under all this beautiful Art Deco 1948 neon and go check out the inside of the building. So why don't y'all come on in with me? First thing you'll notice when you get inside here, everything in here is original to 1948. If you look up here, this neon has been there since 48. This candy counter, you can see right here in this picture with Miss Hooks, right after the remodel done in 1948. This candy counter right here, you've got a ticket booth here that was set. It's actually a tickle-mizer from the 20s. It still works.
Wow.
We use it for the 50-cent movies. They've got it powered down now, but when you press the buttons, the tickets pop up, and that's how you win prizes on our Tuesday night.
That's super cool.
Movie things. But you notice this kind of sets a little lower. You know, usually counters set up about here. If you think about it for concession stands, that's because Miss Hooks was wheelchair bound. So everything in here, the heights were designed so someone with a wheelchair would have it up about chest height for her to be able to do what she needs to do.
Wow.
It's pretty cool stuff. We do have an interesting history here. As most of you know, it's a shameful part of history, but segregation was the norm in the South through the mid-60s. Behind this is a second ticket window. And up until desegregation, this is where you came if you were a person of color to buy your tickets. You went through a double door that's over here. That's where you bought your concessions, and later on we'll be up in the balcony area, which was where you went to set at that time. We have some hauntings up there that are very relevant to that we'll talk about a little later on, and I'm sure you guys will get a chance to talk to them. But you've got this here. Let's go
nice
into
of them
the
to at
theater
least
part
close
here
down
itself.
that nasty part
You've
of
got,
history, at least a little bit, but keep it around so you can still know that it happened, you know?
But if you haven't been in an old, classic 40s style theater, this is what you have. The black wrought iron, all the red, the trompe-l'oeil walls that make it look like baffled walls, but it's really not. It's all flat. If you're back up here, the sloped floor was put in 1948, along with the balcony area, a cry room for crying babies, which I think ought to be a cell phone room now. And you had this really great thing in 1948 for Texas called chilled air. It's still back, well, the original compressor's gone, but when I first started doing stuff here over 30 years ago, we were still using that compressor. Big V-twin, looked like a Harley-Davidson engine, would sit there going pop, 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 pop during shows. Very loud. Got it coolish, but not completely cool. So if you come on down this direction, guys.
So very loud and not exactly the most effective.
To the screen. There's a little tiny screen back behind there that's still there that hasn't been up since probably 1978 or 77. It's been covered up. But back behind you, be a great place to do a sweep here in a minute, would be where the balcony was, which is tech, the cry room, the offices, the projection room. But there's a lot of things happen here backstage. There's a lot of things happen up in the balcony and the office areas. And this particular side of the stage, we think it's a portal. I have stories going back to plays that I've done in years past where things have happened over in this area of the stage, and we've seen it with investigations over the last several years where things have almost literally manifested over here. Energy fields and mists and dark shadows, and I've been in here at night when orbs have come in through the door, gone down the aisle, come up the stairs, and gone out the back door while you're sitting there watching them. Not dust in your camera.
That can't be dust at that point.
But actually a moving ball of light that would walk down just like someone was walking.
It's hard to be a bug to be that much a long, precise distance.
Here. We have a little girl named Abby. You'll probably run into her tonight. She, from talking with mediums, she knows that she's dead. She knows the power that comes this way, and she's a trickster. She loves to play tricks. She'll tie knots in women's hair while they're here. She will not let you keep a number 2 Phillips screwdriver anywhere in this building. They disappear constantly. She's been known to move things around while you're on stage. She's taken things while you're working on set pieces and returned them sometimes a year or so later. But she's here. We have Mr. Deere, who started here handing out programs for free movie tickets when he was 12, ended up taking over the theater, and we bought it from him when he was an older age. He's backstage a lot and shows up a lot of places. We have several of the previous owners. Mr. Thomas shows up in the office up here. And there's an elderly black gentleman up in the balcony named Zeb, who shows up quite often up there, especially if you're causing trouble. That was kind of his spot to make sure that everybody stayed out of trouble. But I will tell you a quick story about Mr. Deere. One of the earliest investigations we did here, we had a medium back in the back. He came walking out from the back and came out of here and said, Jeff, you got to hear this. You got to talk to this. Randy was here that night when he came out, was back there with him. He said, there's a guy back there, and he's kind of stocky, kind of balding, and he wants us to get out. And I told him, said, Jeff said it was okay to be here. Was that guy kind of running the place now? Yeah, that's him. Okay. Tell him I love what he's doing here at the theater. You need to sell hot dogs. You'll make more money. And the funniest, I'd love to see the movie again. It's the funniest movie I've ever seen. I said, stop, wait a minute. Wrote down the name of a movie, tucked it in my pocket, and said, what was it? The guy said, Porky's. That's what I'd written on the piece of paper.
Wow.
Because we had talked to James Deere a couple of years before he had passed away, and he had said that's the funniest thing he had ever seen. But the one that made us figure out what he is, he asked Jeff, was there ever like a minor league baseball team here? Because this spirit, I'm sensing like a kid's aluminum bat on its shoulder. It's sitting there talking to me like this, like with a bat on its shoulder. And we're sitting there looking at it, and I couldn't figure out, it's like aluminum. I said, oh, I know who we're at. Mr. Deere was known for that big silver D-cell flashlight, like the old sheriff's deputies used to carry. And he was known to walk up into couples out here in the audience and go, y'all need to make a little room for Jesus between you. He was buried with that flashlight.
Really?
Wow.
Just like you'd usually see flowers, they buried him with that flashlight. That's how famous he was for it. And this is someone who had no history of Mr. Deere.
Yeah, this is somebody way out of town, didn't know any of this.
That happen quite often, where folks will recognize, or you'll feel like you're not supposed to be back there. And usually all you have to do is just say, hey, I'm here for the show. I'm working with George. I'm working with Jeff. I'm working with Randy. Everything's fine. And he'll leave you alone.
So you were talking about paranormal activity that happened to you while plays were going on.
Yes, we did a play several years ago called Ghost of a Chance, and I actually played a ghost in it. It was kind of cool. I was dead the whole show. But we had a set of stairs going up right here. 2-story set. Went up here at the top, and there was a scene in that play where my spirit had a chance to go on to the afterlife. And we had spotlights up here in the ceiling that were supposed to open up and glow so you had the light. You know, go towards the light. Whole bunch of jokes about, oh, look, it's Jimmy Hoffa talking to Elvis, you know, through the door. Well, we had a bunch of old lights up here that had been replaced, and we never could get them to work. We tried, we rewired, we never could get them to work. So we put up just a couple of shop lights up there with a dimmer like you would get down at the hardware store. Opening night, I go up the stairs, and as I go up the stairs and start my lines, those spotlights came on that weren't working. I just thought they'd fixed them that day. I got back to the end of the show and said, hey, y'all got those things fixed. I go, what do you mean fixed? We have them unplugged. The lights came up during that. We had a lady sitting right over here where Randy's sitting who was supposed to have been in the show and got sick and couldn't do the show. She took pictures at the end of the show. The first picture is we're taking bows, perfect and sharp, brand new digital camera, brand new batteries. The second picture was all blurry, out of focus, and about a 5-foot round glowing orb at the top of the stairs, just before her phone went dead, or her camera went dead. It wasn't a camera phone back then. And after that, we have that happen a lot. But
digital
that's,
cameras dying.
Lights will come on, you'll be on stage, you'll hear whistling off stage. Sometimes you'll hear singing if you're up here by yourself. It's a pretty active place. Yes, so come on back, watch your step back here.
Very interesting stuff, at least nothing malicious so far.
Give you an idea how much dirt they had to dig out to put this slope floor.
Protective of anything.
Wow.
So if you look here at the wall, you see graffiti from everyone that's been on this stage since about 2004. All through the walls, all on the ceilings. Ghost of a Chance, that's the one where I was dead. But this area back here, matter of fact, I know, is one of you guys sensitive?
Yeah.
Are you feeling a little bit of heaviness back here right now?
Definitely.
Okay, there's people back here that James is not really sure of. It's kind of the feeling. You know, it's like a cowboy walking into a biker bar. It may be friendly, but when you first walk in, you're not really sure if you're supposed to be there or not.
Mm-hmm.
And then this room right over here, we'll back up and go in. This room to your right, the dressing room. These two rooms, we've had things move. We've had drums played in this room while we've been here for investigations. We've had water faucets turn on while we've been back here. There's some actors that I've worked with over the years that have shown up back here during and before shows to kind of mess with some things. So this one, I'm feeling something in here now. This is kind of you can get that kind of energy feeling. Are you feeling anything over there? I was noticing your hair on your arm kind of trying to stick up a little bit, maybe.
Is there a bug in here?
No.
I felt something tap my
Oh,
hand right
yeah.
there.
Welcome to the Select Theater.
Say hello, Brett.
Hello.
Well, it could be Brad, it could be James, it could be Abby.
Weird.
Matter of fact, I should have asked you if you have any tangles in your hair, because there'll probably be at least one knot in it before the end of the night.
That I would really like to see that happen. That would be something.
You
Well,
never
that's your
usually
hair
never know
buckle
when it
before you
happens.
leave,
She's
my
very,
dude.
very stealthy.
I like that.
But we had a group up here one night for an overnight ghost hunt. A mom brought her daughter and all of her friends for their bachelorette party. And they were working with the divining rods, dowsing rods, swinging those back and forth. And they had had a couple of drinks at the local Mexican food place before they got here. You don't disrespect Abby.
Ooh. They
You
disrespect
don't
her.
use her full name, the full first name. That's all we know. She won't tell us her last one because and she doesn't like men. But they were sitting there. We had pucks all around them to light up if an energy field got close. And there was one up in that portal area that no matter which puck we put in there, it stayed just flickering the whole time.
Wow.
We could move them around, it would keep flickering. They were sitting on there, she's running the stuff, and bless her heart, that one little girl goes, okay, fine. I think that you think everybody says that you're a bad girl, that you can do all these things. I think this is full of crap because you're not talking to us, and I don't believe you're even here. Randy was down front and heard a whisper in her, says, watch this. And every light on that stage lit up. And they were outside. I don't think they smoked before then, but they were outside sucking down the cigarettes. Get a little nicotine in. But this is a very active area here. Something else that's kind of interesting about this theater, and we think it's because of that vortex, that portal, whatever you want to call
Whatever
it.
that is, that
We get
energy
a lot
up
of
on that
transients
stage.
here. We have people that while they're here, they get messages from the other side directly for them. And that's what's really kind of the hardest part to explain is when you have someone who's a skeptic and they start being told things that no one else can know but them. And that happens here a lot in the middle of investigations.
Interesting.
Like, can you give an example?
We had, Randy, who you've met earlier, he had a very good friend of his, got him into law enforcement years ago, who came back because we kept getting a pattern. And he can tell you the story better than I can, but he was getting a pattern on the ovulus, Morse code. He plugged in the Morse code generator on his phone because he's also a radio guy. It was the initials of that man who had died, who he had done the wedding for his daughter.
Wow.
So that's not someone who should have been here. No one's ever died here, but Mr. Deer's here because he loved the place. Abby says she's here because this was her favorite place when she was a little girl. It's her happy space. Mr. Monroe, Zeb, is here because this was a huge responsibility for him, was to run where he ran here.
Want to
And
make sure things are safe, yeah.
I have an old girlfriend here, literally, who we dated furiously in a year before I met my now wife of 30-something years. And she shows up pretty regularly as well. Said this was her happy spot, was here in this theater.
That's interesting.
So that's the 4 or 5 that we get. No one's died here. And pretty much any of them can probably pass on to the other side, but they choose to stay here because this is, I guess,
something
their
they
version
love
of
and
heaven.
something they want to protect.
Wow. That's interesting.
Interesting.
This
Very
was their happy
interesting.
place. I'm going to show you something here.
At the very least, it's at least positive
we've
energy.
only had
nothing
one
else.
time that
Even if there's some
anything
sort of energy vortex on
kind of
that
negative
stage.
showed up here. I'm going to walk back out this direction.
At least most of it seems to
because
be
we
positive.
started having people pick up things back here that were scary, things that would frighten them a lot. And we got a run there where whatever it was you were looking for would show up, which is never good. That's when, of course, you start to worry when whatever you want to talk to, whoever you want to talk to, suddenly shows up. Had some friends that do this much deeper into it than I am. They called me and said, look, the voices from the other side are saying you've got something nasty here and it needs to go. And right about that same time, we found this.
What is that?
Well, we took pictures of it and sent it off to folks that study these things. And 5 different people came back with the same answer after about 6 months and said, this is not a traditional sigil, but it's like a anchoring sigil. And what I was told to do was get back here with my knife and cut every line. Okay? That got rid of the anchor. And then that night, we had 4 or 5 really good people here and we ran it off. This building filled up full of fog so thick that a laser pointer looked like a lightsaber. You were seeing sparks swirling on stage. And about the time it left, there was no energy left in the building. The fog cleared within 60 seconds. We didn't have any ghost activity for about a month. And then all the spirits started coming back. The Normas, the girlfriend, James, all of them that hadn't really talked in a while, all of a sudden started talking again. I know you guys know this. This is stuff you don't mess with.
Somebody's trying to mess with you.
You know, so we found nothing else like it, but I thought that would be something good for your show.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how you actually sliced it up, you know?
Well, they said I could have done it with a Sharpie too, but all I had was a pocket knife.
Hey, whatever works.
You use what
Hey
you got.
man, yeah, whatever works,
We
and I'd
decided
rather
that night to
make
make it
sure
go.
it's done, you know?
Y'all just
Can't get
missed
more
it.
done than literally cutting it.
You see up there in our tech booth?
Yeah?
You see the doors open right now? Yeah. Just a moment ago, it closed, and then it reopened. And there's nobody up there.
No.
That door? You just watched it happen?
Yeah.
That is a very active place up there. Zeb's up there a lot. And you'll hear folks walking up and down the hallway outside there when they're being real quiet doing investigations. You'll hear the footsteps. And for years before we even started doing investigations, we had 4 different executive directors who worked up in the office who said on particular Thursdays, payday, they would hear someone walk up the steps, take 2 steps on the landing and turn like they're waiting at the door to the office because it's payday.
Wow.
And that was when someone told me years ago, years before we even started doing any of this stuff in serious, that she felt like it was an old porter who used to work here who was coming up there to get paid. And of course, as most people do, you call every ghost you don't know George.
Yep.
She says, I said, George, I'll pay you later, okay? And said you'd hear it walk off. But Randy's been up there when former employees, former people who ran the place, owners, told him where a floor safe was we didn't know existed.
That's crazy.
We had one medium up here one night. We typically don't let people in the business office because that's where we keep the safe and payroll files and everything like that. We had a medium up here one night. He said, there's an older gentleman here. He recognizes you. He says you're doing good things. I'm trying to figure out who it was. It turns out it was Mr. Hooks Jr., who ran the theater from 1932 till his death. And up in the business office, there's a cash safe that I think the building was built around because the thing weighs a ton. But I said, okay, if you're Mr. Hooks, you would have opened this safe every day you open this theater. There's only 4 of us alive right now, 5 of us alive, that know the combination of that safe. It's a 100-number dial, 4 digits to the combination. I said, if you're Mr. Hooks, tell me the last 2 digits of the combination. Everything was quiet for a minute. The medium spouted off 2 numbers in order of the last 2 digits of the combination.
Wow. Dang.
They told us about, like Jeff said, the floor safe. We didn't even know there was a floor safe in this building. I was up in the office one day cleaning out the closet. Ratty old carpet in the closet. I pulled the carpet back to pull it out of the closet. There was a floor safe in the middle of the floor. Found the key to it, opened it. There was nothing in it, but, you know, it was cool to find.
There was a head in it.
I was gonna say.
There's $1 million in diamonds.
There's been times when we'd be up in the control booth, Jeff and I, running a play, because we, you know, like he was saying, we have 180-something lighting instruments. We have full digital sound, so it takes 2 of us most of the time to run a play. And when we're up there, we'll have music stands out with our scripts on them. So we're following along in the script, and I was on the light end, which is the end closest to the right side of the booth. Jeff was on the sound side, which is the left side of the booth. And I'm watching the play because I'm waiting for a light cue, so I'm focused on what's happening up here. And Jeff whispers to me, "Quit it." What? And he pointed at my music stand, and my music stand was sitting there doing this. And he thought I was tapping it with my foot, but my feet were under the table. But the music stand was rocking back and forth. So there's that. The projection room is in the center. The office is that little window right there. And then the cry room on the other side.
Now, something that's kind of cool about the cry room up there, because I know you just got a picture of it up there. You see it's backlit by the hallway. You'll be on stage here doing a show, during a play, and you're sitting out here expounding out towards the audience, and you'll see someone standing in that window watching the show, except no one's there.
Right there?
You'll see it right up here, right that far window to the right. And they don't just vanish. It literally looks like when you see them, they go and turn, but you don't see them walk up the hall. They just disappear. But you'll see that during rehearsals. There's actually a picture up in there. It's decorated. It's a suite now for watching shows from. But there was a poster from a play we did up there that got thrown down the hall one night during rehearsals when everybody was on stage. Wow. They heard the crash. And it was way up the hallway on the far side. It couldn't have hit and rolled. Right after we had decorated it on that.
The projection room, since we had to go full digital projection back in 2012, we have the digital projector that we call HAL. And
I can't do that.
We'll be here. Right now it's offline because we're not showing a movie. We'll be here. And the projector will come on. Just power up. No rhyme or reason. And the projector is controlled by our NOC in Dallas. And we'll call them and go, we don't know why it came on. You have nothing. You have no show pending. You've got nothing programmed. But the whole system powers up like somebody's getting ready for a show.
Wow.
You'll
A literal ghost in the machine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when there's a problem, the reason we call it HAL is because when there's a problem with it, there's a red light on the back that comes on. Yeah. When everything's good, it's a green light. When something's wrong with the unit, it turns red. But we've had that
and it reads
unit up here now since 2012. Yeah, it's $90,000 piece of equipment, and nobody can figure out why it just randomly turns itself on. Now,
All the time, either.
no, it's random. It's not like it's at a certain time or a certain part of the day. I think because the control unit, if you're familiar with the movies, what is the name of the clown from Stephen King's It?
Pennywise.
Pennywise, exactly. The name of the controller, the model of the controller unit that controls all of it is called a Pennywise controller. So
creepy.
It's possessed.
Some bad mojo. It's got some nicknames for that thing, but none of them are good.
This is the cry room. It's now the suite, which is a pretty fancy place to watch a movie.
Yeah.
A great view. This is where we'll often see someone standing here watching shows. This picture behind you, from the play The Women of Lockerbie, this, see the busted glass on the corner?
Mm-hmm.
That, as people were rehearsing on the stage, went from this wall to up against that wall at the top of the stairs.
That's powerful.
You can't, it's not like it hit and bounced. So that's happened. Obviously someone did not like what we had up here in the room. And that particular play is a very powerful play about the 747 that was blown up over Lockerbie, Scotland, by terrorists. Wow. So we don't know who didn't like it, but they tossed the movie poster, or the play poster. That's kind of cool. You see this big steel door? This whole room is solid concrete because it had to be fireproof, because film was very flammable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You had a dumbwaiter here that actually was taken out by our bathrooms downstairs that they would bring all the film canisters up on. Watch your step here. Now, if you're familiar with the old movies, when we first started, well, when this theater started, they ran what they call arc projectors. Think of a welding rod. That welding rod would make an arc with a reflector behind it, and that was what gave you your light. Have you ever seen the little dots going down the side when you're watching an old movie, you'll see like a little dot, it's like 1 dot, 2 dot, and then 3 dots? Those are actually, they called them cigarette burns, because sometimes they were, because that would tell the guy who had this projector with reel 1 and this projector with reel 2, when we sit here watching those dots, he'd go 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dots. This one starts, this one ends, they pop them off real quick, put the next one up. But there was a shower in the corner here that we've since taken out, the bathroom, because once he was up here, he couldn't leave because of fire. The same spirit that Randy was talking about a minute ago that told him about the floor safe said, oh, did you know about the tornado? Yeah, we know about the tornado. He said, did you know about the fire? What fire? There's never been a fire here. When they did this in 1948, Texas Fire Insurance Board said it was flame proof because of all the treatments and stuff in it. He said, oh, no. We had a film going one time up here, and as they were getting ready to switch it, the film caught on fire. Rather than let it get up into the roll, they spun a bunch of film out, cut it off, and let it burn itself out on the floor. Right there it is.
Wow.
We never knew. You can see where the paint and everything has worn off everywhere else. But you can see where that celluloid film burned up and melted in. We didn't have a clue what that was until after we were told that. They said, oh yeah, the mark's still on the floor in there. So that was supposedly, according to the spirits, where we almost had a fire in here.
Lucky that they saved it in time.
Oh, well, these guys were professionals. Back then, a projectionist was considered a high school job.
Yeah.
Because he was running all kinds of crazy stuff. Of course, we still even have the old splicing boards we don't use. Now, watch your step in here. This is a new door. It's not designed for tall people. This is the old balcony area, which of course during segregation times was a place where you had to come sit if you were a person of color. One of the original founding fathers of our playhouse, actually the first time he ever was on the bottom floor in this theater was in 1983 when the theater bought it. Now I did watch Urban Cowboy from up here. It was the best seat in the house. We've got a little museum built. Yeah. If you're talking about history in the building, of course, we're 103 years here. That's how long we've been in business. On this spot, though, in about 1860, there was an open-air theater called the Air Dome. We found a picture of it. So movies and entertainment have happened on this geophysical location now since the mid to late 1800s. That, to me, is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. You have a picture of that.
Up in here in the attic, the original building, we don't have a good picture of it, was red brick, white crosses, all kinds of white fancy work, big arches for ventilation. If you look up there past me, you can still see the arches.
Oh yeah.
That light will get it really good up there.
Yeah, not engineered for tall people.
No.
Yeah, no.
Well, and this is actual height.
Wow.
And if you look down here, you can see where the carpet runners were. See where there's no candy and ground in gum, but you see where there is. for years, but there's none here. That's because there was about a foot rise back here.
Interesting.
So if you were coming in to see movies here, you came in, I know I'm just keep making you back up. You had to bend over, work your way in, and when you sat in your chair, this is about where your head was sitting down.
Huh.
So you could see over the folks in front. Now this is just kind of cool. You notice we've got everything painted up.
Gotcha.
We just put wood in. We put some lights in so we could see. We covered a lot of this up with plastic instead of painting it. You have to get just the right angle on it. But you see these gouges?
Mm-hmm.
That's where the seat back's dug in. Now look from your angle and you can see the shoulders and their head and the shoulders and the head. That is 60, 70 years. We call it the ghost shadows. That's where people have stayed here watching movies leaned up against that back wall.
That is actually so
that
cool.
That presence.
That's cool.
It's something you may or may not know this. If you go to old churches, when the sun's shining in with the old pews, and you stand where the preacher is, you know, people sat in the same places in churches all the time. You can tell where people sat before they died.
How?
The pew will have a little bit of a wear there, where just people sitting on that varnish for years and years changes the way it reflects. And you can look over and see where Mr. Smith used to sit for 60 years because his silhouette is still in that pew. And that's kind of what this is here, is to me it's just a vestige of almost 100 years of folks sitting up here watching movies. This is, like I said, this is an extremely hot room as far as activity. This is the hallway that comes up from outside. It's just kind of hard to get up and down. Gives you an idea what the place would look like if it didn't have all the restoration work we've done. But this is one too that when you're in this room investigating, you'll hear this. You hear footsteps going up and down this aisle because this wall wasn't here. So if you were up here keeping an eye on what was happening in the balcony, this is where you would be patrolling. And you'll hear, we assume Zeb, walking up and down this hall, making sure that we're not getting into mischief.
There's somebody in
No?
there? Okay, well.
I think there's a click of something over here is what you're talking about.
Probably Zeb.
I heard something.
It was like a click.
Yeah, like something moving.
Like a click.
Oh, you're gonna, yeah, it's pretty common up here. I'm gonna walk past you. This would have been your view from the balcony.
Wow.
Like I said, none of this walls were here. None of this was here. Just wide open space. If you're up here by yourself, don't go up the ladder. I say that because when you get down, matter of fact, you see what looks like some masking tape and stuff hanging down about 3/4 of the way down? It's actually where a kid fell through one night during rehearsals. He was supposed to be up here running sound and lights. He didn't die then. He actually caught himself astraddle a beam. We asked him why. I said, why in the attic? Because there was a ladder. So he had to climb it. We nicknamed him Skywalker after that. But he did, it's kind of odd. He passed away at a motorcycle wreck about 3 years later. His best friend from high school was here for a ghost investigation, and he showed up to tell her that he was okay. Like I said, we get this weird transient, and I don't know. The best we can figure is, like tonight, we had It's a Wonderful
a
Life.
place of high energy that can allow spirits to visit if they so desire.
Emotions.
That's
Whether
what I
it's
figure.
fear or joy or whatever, that emotion is an energy. As an actor,
Gives
when you walk on stage,
something that wants
you
to
get
be
that
close
energy.
for at least a short
That's where
period of time to
the
talk to
energy
you
from.
and a chance to finally
You
get
imagine
those
all that latent
messages
energy
across.
in the theater.
My assumption.
100%, and
This
that
place is
helps
mostly positive,
things
except for that one
manifest.
instance with
It's
that
almost
weird
like it's a
sigil.
snack bar for ghosts to come by and get a little shot of energy before they move on down the road. So you've had
Get something
the
across
tour.
that they maybe
Two
that are
questions.
last thing
Okay.
they want to get across and finally move on.
What do you think are the most active parts of the theater? Is there a place in here that's kind of eerie to you?
The only time that doesn't feel really welcoming, because most of the things we deal with here, most of the entities here tend to be, they want to be here. We really don't get a whole lot of trouble. Unless you're not supposed to be backstage and James decides that's not where you're supposed to be. Because you don't work here and you're not where you're supposed to be. Zeb up here, Sometimes that's the only time we've ever picked up an EVP that says, get out. We've had that happen up here. It's the only time. We'll have Abby. She's usually around on the stage. Apparently she likes to hang out in the top row of lights up there to watch shows. Like I said, she knows what she is, and she takes advantage of that. But the front edge of the stage, back in the dressing rooms for James, up here in this room in the old balcony area, and even sometimes over towards the offices in the cry room. But we're kind of across the board with this. It's really, you can be anywhere in this building and have things happen.
I was about to say, it sounds like the whole building, really.
It really is. And I heard Crystal saying this to you. There's been a couple of times, when I leave out, I'll say, hey, guys, I'm shutting down, But the only time I've really had a big issue up here is up here at 3 o'clock in the morning putting a set together for a show. Your screw guns have little flashlights on. And there's work lights on the stage, but it's still kind of dark. Every time I'd get a screw lined up to start, it's like something would turn the light off. Like something would put their hand in front of it. I'd get everything up, I'd check the light, everything's good, I'd go down there to get to work, and it would get blocked. And finally I said, damn it, Abby, I got work to do. I need you to stop. I never know any more trouble the rest of the night. But she has taken, Randy's mom was here. Abby came through a medium and said, tell that lady that you live with, and he doesn't live with her now but did then, that I'm sorry I took her paintbrush that time and I'll give it back to her. Well, she was painting You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, which has very bright primary colors on the set. He called her up next day, went to see her for Sunday dinner, and said, hey, did you lose a paintbrush? She goes, well, yeah. Had those little paintbrushes, like an inch wide. I was doing detail work. Set it down, went to the bathroom, came back, couldn't find it. Figured just out of habit, I threw it in the trash. She was doing a play 6 months later. On top of her costume, in the ladies' side of the dressing room, was that dried paintbrush laying on top of her costume.
Wow.
We don't know where it came from, but it had the Charlie Brown colors on it. So that probably gives you some of what you're looking for here tonight as you go in and start looking. Zeb is usually up here, although he will come down sometimes. Abby can be anywhere, especially if she thinks you're cute. She doesn't like boys, because the little boys who gave her the fever that killed her. She'll tell you, I was at the doctor's office and I got that fever, and I don't like boys. I was playing with him and I got sick. Mr. Thomas and Mr. Hooks over here in the office area. Abby down here, and James, once again, almost anywhere, but usually backstage or when you're someplace you shouldn't be.
And then my second question.
Okay.
So you'd say this place is haunted?
Mm-hmm. Yes, this place is haunted. Said I've been here close to 30 years, and look, when I started doing this stuff, I was a little bit of a skeptic. But here's the thing: when you're up here at 3 o'clock in the morning and you see balls of light going down the aisles, and you hear people walking around, and you hear whispering in the building, and you're the only one here with the doors locked outside. I've seen too many things in this place for over 30 years for me to sit there and say nothing's going on. And we've had mediums come in who have verified a lot of what we're seeing. We tend to, and of course this isn't for the recording, that's why I asked you if you guys wanted the stories. Because usually when we do a ghost investigation, I won't tell the stories. We'll touch just a little gloss of what to look for, and then I'll throw in a red herring. So if someone comes up and tells me, oh my God, Jeff, I saw the ghost chicken. Okay, no, there is no ghost chicken. Okay, that's the test. That's the test in it.
Right.
So there you go, guys. I saw you looking at my sign there. I just thought that was on you. We don't like folks touching our tech stuff.
Awesome.
So
man.
did you get what you need?
The stories of this place are really, really cool. I mean, someone being on stage and seeing a ghost while they're performing. That's very crazy. But it made me wonder, who's haunting this theater? I mean, if nobody died here, why is there still spirits left behind? And that's what we wanted to find out.
Right, so here we are
They
at the
want
Historic
to
Select
be
Theater
there.
in Mineola. This theater as a building was built in 1920, and a tornado hit downtown Mineola. This auditorium was packed of this building that's been here for 103 years. And for 103 years, the Lake Country Playhouse and the Select Theater have not stopped showing movies. We have continuously shown movies. So we are Texas' oldest continuously operating movie theater. The Select Theater has been here, has been welcoming people in its walls for 103 years. And the Lake Country Playhouse takes pride in what we've done to keep the theater going, keeping this theater alive and a place for people to go in Mineola. And we have had experiences here. Jeff told you about some of the experiences he's had with our ghosts and our non-corporeal residents that stay here. We've had transient spirits come through here. We had one spirit come through here that actually made George scream like a little girl. That was kind of a fun night because they were back. He was back in the back with a group, and we were storing some of the band equipment back there, and we heard the cymbal hi-hat get hit and George scream. He said it was because he was getting trampled, but nobody can confirm or deny that. We've got... Did y'all hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. Front doors are locked. That was somebody moving around behind concessions. You've seen the theater. You've taken the tour with Jeff and seen upstairs. I've been up here. We had, Jeff and I have a mutual friend that I actually acted alongside him on this stage in his last performance, in his last play that he did. He directed it and acted in it, but it was the last play he literally did. It was a comedy called Wait Until Dark. And after the show closed, he went for a routine procedure for just a regular colonoscopy, and 7 days later was dead. So we've had him here. Jeff likes to tease him by telling him he was the better actor, and sometimes Brett will disagree with that, knock stuff around or make it known that he's actually still here. One experience I had here personally, now there's somebody up in the projection booth.
I heard that.
We were setting up for a investigation here one night. It was a Saturday night, and I had just performed a wedding up in Mount Vernon, and it was a wedding for my best friend's son. He had gotten married, and I came from there here. Now I'll back up a little bit. This friend of mine is actually the one that got me started in law enforcement and got me starting down that road in 1999, 2000. 2001, he was going to work one day, July 20th, he was headed to work and was killed when somebody didn't see him on his motorcycle and pulled out in front of him. And he was subsequently killed in the accident. Well, coming back to that Saturday, I came up here, and as most investigators do, they had a REM pod sitting over here on the stage right side thrust. And I'm sitting in the back watching cameras, and all of a sudden this REM pod just starts going crazy. Can't make it stop. All of a sudden I start hearing tones coming out of it I recognize. Being an amateur radio operator, you know certain Morse codes that everybody should know. One of those is SOS. And this REM pod started beeping out SOS very clearly. 3 short beeps, 3 long beeps, 3 short beeps, and repeatedly beeping it out. So I come down here and I sat down beside the REM pod. I said, okay, you've got my attention now. Who are you? And it was quiet for a little bit. I said, okay, you've got me down here. Tell me who you are. And it beeped out another letter in Morse code. And the letter it beeped out was the letter E. And it just kept doing that over and over and over, just beeping out the letter E. And I sat there for a minute. I said, okay, I know you're here. My friend's name was Eric. So he had followed me down here from his son's wedding down here that night. So those are some of the experiences I've had here. Jeff's told you a lot of the other ones that we've all had, because we all have our run-ins with Abby, with Zeb, with Mr. Deere, Mr. Thomas, Mr. Hooks. We've not had anything here that's dangerous or wants to hurt anybody, but we do have that one mischievous little girl, the 12-year-old Abby. She does like to play tricks on people. So that's some of our experiences here. So I hope y'all have a good night tonight. Catch some stuff. interested to see what y'all catch.
So, my question would
Very
be,
interested to see what they catch.
where do you guys think the haunting is coming from, since there were no deaths here, no tragic big accidents?
Abby has told us the reason she's here is because this was her favorite place. She would come to the movies. If she didn't have the money to get into the movies, they would let her in for free. Mr. Hooks, Mr. Deere, Mr. Thomas would let her in, pay her way. So she enjoyed it here. She loved being here. Zeb was a porter here for the upstairs balcony, and that was his responsibility. Mr. Deere, Mr. Thomas, and Mr. Hooks, they're tied to it because they worked here for so long, and this was what they did. This is how they brought entertainment to Mineola. And then we've had transients move through. You know, Mineola was a railroad town, and you'd have passenger rail come in all the time, and the theater was always open when the train would come in. And we just have transients that move through here. We've had one transient come in that said he needed to tell his story. And the medium that was here went out the front door and started down the street headed south to what was the 1888 building. It's not there anymore. But he told the story to the medium of how he had come in on the train, he was a traveling salesman, and he had gone to look for some female companionship for the night. Without getting into too many details. But had gone to the 1888 building, caused a bit of a ruckus, got a little rough with some of the ladies there, and was thrown out. And a fight between him and one of the gentlemen that was there started. And there was a town marshal or a deputy, I believe it was a deputy sheriff, was over at the train station. And he started coming over here to see what was going on. And this transient spirit told the medium, I was stupid, and I lunged for the deputy, and he shot me. And the last thing I heard was, get the doctor. And he told the medium, I just wanted to tell somebody I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what happened and what I did. Since then, we haven't seen him. We've had one tell us about a building in downtown that has gold buried in the basement. So the theater is kind of an open venue. It's where anybody can come. And even in the afterlife, spirits still move through here. They want to come see a picture. We'll have rehearsals going on. You'll see somebody upstairs or a shadow in the audience. They're here. They want to see a show. And when people are here for a show, it's a comedy or drama, something like that, there's all that emotional energy that the spirits can draw from. Something is up in the rafters. And so they feed off of that. And that's why they come here. That's why we have so many transients move through here. We do have our regulars that are here because they enjoy it here. They were happy here. Then we have those that move in and move out.
Well, I think I'm ready to start ghost hunting, man.
Let's do it.
You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, this battery is just about dead.
All right.
Already?
Yep.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Does that mean that you're ready? You never answered.
I was sleeping.
So now are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm ready now.
Okay. Awesome. So after hearing all of that history, it was finally time for us to investigate. Now, there's so much space in the theater, so many rooms, we didn't really know where we should start, but we decided to start in the auditorium, sitting in the chairs. It's always kind of scary going into these investigations when you're investigating a place where nobody died, because who's haunting the theater then? Where did these spirits come from? Did they come from some sort of a portal like they were talking about on the stage? Were they summoned by some sort of a ritual like he was talking about in the backstage area, that thing that was carved into the wall? You don't really know. You're basically casting a fishing reel out and just seeing what you're going to catch when you try to interact with this stuff. But yeah, this investigation got pretty crazy pretty quickly, and I mean, just watch this for yourself. Okay guys, so it is 11:30 at night. A long day today. We're all tired, it's cold out, but we're ready to investigate this theater. So much history. We also have a secret surprise right across the street. We are going to get to that at the end of the episode. Some really, really crazy stuff happening across the street that we're going to investigate as well. But it's been a while since we've done a theater. I think the last one might have been the Stone Lion, that Oklahoma trip. Ponkin Theater in Oklahoma. That was a very interesting investigation. Theaters are pretty crazy. There's always a very strange energy there, and you can already feel it inside of the building tonight. But I'm joined by the three musketeers over here. Dun, dun, dun. Look at this rowdy crowd.
Whoa, here we go.
How are you guys doing tonight?
Wonderful, tired.
Yeah?
But ready to go.
Connor, you've never done a theater before?
Yeah. Nice move.
That was a goblin in black. I couldn't see his face.
Just slipped right by.
Just so you know, that was like a black figure on a black bike going right by us.
How are you feeling, buddy?
Couldn't see. I'm tired, like we all are. Oh,
the train.
Right on cue.
Transients, here they come.
Trains forever. But no, it's. And I think this is an interesting theater. We've done also like the Variety Theater in Cleveland. Remember that?
Yep.
And of course, Ponkin. But
the
this
Orpheum.
Orpheum Theater. This is actually, I think, got the cool history of being the longest continuously running theater in Texas. So just a ton of history. I'm just excited to get into it.
And my lovely mom, Mary.
Hi. Hello.
How are you doing? I know you're excited to get back into some ghost hunting.
I am. I'm really
I don't expect
excited.
anything freaky out of this
And
one. I just
tonight
expect something
should be
interesting.
good. It's already feeling a little bit active in there. So
wow.
Yeah.
Some very strange sounds for sure. I heard at least
look
one.
at this motley
Let's go. Let's go buy our tickets.
Mary, okay, go buy your ticket.
Hello. One ticket, please. There's nobody here.
Student ID. Are you serious?
I'll take 18 tickets, please.
I'm just gonna sneak in the back.
I knew that's what it was.
This way.
Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh, yay! Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's showtime, baby.
Let's get this show on the road.
All right, let's see the tickets.
Woo! We each get a ticket.
Ooh,
There's an extra one.
Oh.
It's for Connor's attachment.
Yeah.
From last night.
No, that's your attachment.
Yeah.
No, I gave them to you.
No, I passed them off.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, that's why I feel so crappy.
All right, guys.
I knew it.
Let's do this. Okay, guys, so right now we are all set up at the very front of the theater. As you can hear in this footage, there's a music box that is continuing to go off in the aisle, almost as if someone has followed us down to the front row of the theater. We have static set up all around the room. We have a ton of equipment. We have balls set up, all of our devices.
And just like that, it stops.
And I'm going to go silence this before we start so we can listen. Something's right here.
Hi.
Feel free to follow us down here. To everybody here in the Select Theater, to the little girl, to the previous owners, Zeb, Mr. Hooks, Abby, we're just here to talk to you tonight. We want to try to figure out who's in the theater this evening. My name's Colin.
My name's Mary.
I'm Jeff.
My name's Connor.
There goes my drink.
So if there's somebody here with us right now, we've got a lot of little toys set up. Why don't you show us that you're here by making a noise,
Ooh.
Interesting. Pushing one of the balls.
My little cough drop
over there. Yeah, keep walking towards one of those lights.
plenty of seats down there.
Chase. Negative chase.
Some strange.
Concerned. Oh. Happened here. Concerned.
Negative happened here. Concerned chase.
What?
Doesn't seem that positive. Can you let us know where you are in here? By making some sort of a noise?
There's 3 of us.
Well, hello, you threes.
What are your names? Can you tell us?
I think that was an ice machine.
Oh.
Yeah. I hope so.
Can you go get me a Coke? I'm just kidding.
You're the closest. Is there anybody here that wants to watch a movie tonight?
Medicine.
Didn't they say Abby got sick? Remember?
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said
Something.
Abby died because she got sick.
And they're concerned.
Yeah.
3 of us might be.
Ooh, I heard that one.
I'm agitated.
Abby? Is that you? Yeah, that came from over this direction.
It's also, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe 3 of us concerned how they were saying for Abby, how she was coming here all the time, and the owners here were taking care of her. Even if she didn't have money to come in for a movie,
Sure.
they were, like, they liked her being here, and this was like a safe spot for her.
Were there 3 owners?
Well, it was
Or
the
3.
Oh! Oh, both of them!
Well, that maybe answers. Were there 3?
So it was,
I remember the name.
Hook,
No one.
Yeah.
Hooks, what's
Deer.
Deer, and then the woman who sold it to him.
True.
So there were 3.
True.
So they could be concerned about
Yeah.
Abby.
So is this Mr. Deer and Mr. Hooks? You were concerned about Abby?
Ooh.
Okay.
Abby? Are you here with us?
The number 8.
Can we hear you make a noise, please?
Body.
Maybe her trying to say that her
We
body
came
was
here. We'd
banged.
love to see a
But she was ill.
performance. If somebody's here with us. Could you go on stage? Oh, look at
Hello.
Look at right
Hi.
over there.
Probably not.
Probably not. What does that mean?
Oh, this one over here.
Yes, it is.
Whoa, this one over here too.
Hi.
Stage left.
Was that you on the stage? Can you do that again? Oh.
Thank you. Amazing.
What are you calling?
Good stuff.
Thank you. We're still really curious as to what your name is. Is this Abby? Is this Mr. Deer? Mr. Hooks? Zeb? Could you clearly just tell us your name? Because it's obvious that you're up there on the stage, or maybe it's not one of those. Dude, there's strong EMF up there.
Remember when
It's not
he
constant.
was saying over on that part of the
If
stage?
it
he
was
thinks-
wiring, it would be constant.
Literally
Like
right-
all time, all the
dude,
time.
right
My
there.
body was taken.
Right when you said that, Connor. Oh! Yeah.
What was that?
He was saying over on that part of the stage, he thinks it's a portal.
Yeah. Literally right, dude, right there. Right when you said that, Connor. Look at it's trippy how it's. Look at though, it ends on that one. It's interesting if you think about it's on both sides, but it's not hitting the one in the middle or this one over here. You know what I mean? Because it's hitting the two REM pods, but not the REM pod in the center.
That's
Yeah?
very strange.
What did you say?
Two people playing with either one of those.
Just
Could
right when
be.
you said it. and the REM
Maybe-
pods
maybe
went
it's the
off, it
two
just
owners.
Said my body was taken.
You think that could have anything to do with the funeral home across the street that we're going to? Consider the fact that mine said body
There's
as
a
well.
too.
So this building is across the street from an infamous funeral home, a place that is said to be haunted.
I don't want to scare you.
You're not scaring us. Are you somebody that has something to do with the funeral home across the street, maybe? Can you tell us your name? If that's true?
Leave it.
Leave it. Leave it.
Stalker.
Stalker.
What went off over on the left of you?
This REM pod over here. Oh, wait. This bouncy ball moved, dude. This ball moved. I didn't even notice it. That static would have gotten it up there. This ball.
Oh yeah, it moved.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It was set up on the side of the thing.
Great.
Oh, grave.
Really?
5 spirits.
So I mean, grave again would go with a funeral home, right? So can you tell us your name?
This said 5 spirits as well. It's like more spirits are coming through.
Some of them are coming in knowing that people are here to talk.
Said that there's like 5 main spirits here. You have Abby, Hooks, Deer,
Here's Zeb.
Zeb, and then said his ex-girlfriend.
Oh yeah, true.
Wow.
Okay. Interesting.
So it's like they all came in here. They're checking us all out.
Can any of you 5 spirits just tell us your name on these devices so we know you're here? Please?
You're very respectful.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just got the
thank
same,
you.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So again, would you please say one? Okay, well,
Are you still up there performing? Stalker and watched? Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
What's your favorite movie?
Well, too late for that. Favorite movie though? Gosh.
why don't you come out and walk on stage?
Japanese Godzilla, Gojira.
Dance or walk across the stage? Said food.
Said food and drink.
Original Star Wars trilogy.
Okay. You're right. You're right. It did say drink.
Legend.
Makes a lot of sense here.
Do you want one of us to go on the
Just
stage?
my favorite of those genres. I can't never really say for sure which one's my top because it depends on my mood.
Do a performance for you?
One of my favorite action movies has to be The Warriors.
Okay.
Okay, go get her, buddy.
Do you want Connor to come up on stage? Do you want Jeff to come on stage?
Speaking of which, though, I do need to watch
I
the
just thought I heard like
Dollars
a
series.
food rapper like
Oh.
crinkling back
Anyway,
there.
focusing back on the video.
Owner.
Mm.
Owner. Dude, the 3 owners. Mr. Deer?
Multiple spirits.
Multiple
Oh
spirits.
my gosh.
I just think it's I mean with a place like this, this is where people were
Shop?
Literally, the funeral home is a shop.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Just talked about
Yeah.
Like literally, just saying the theory that they're coming from the shop, the funeral home. It's a f***ing shop.
It's like this was like a place where
This place
everybody
has
in
just
this
been a
town
big
came.
draw out for this town for a
Like
long
he was
time.
saying, like this is where you got away from, like just all of the worries in life. Like you come here and you don't have to worry about that stuff. Even in the afterlife, like people still come over here from like all over this town. It being a train yard and all that. I mean,
It's a happy place. Did you used to come here and work at the theater?
It seemed like the EMF energy was like here for a little bit, and then it's kind.
So I thought I heard something too. I've been one of them, but I can't say.
Mist.
Ooh.
Remember how he said in the interview?
that fog
Yeah.
that came over this whole place.
Certain.
Hi there.
You like talking, huh? Well, that's good.
How about acting?
Do you want to act with us?
Ooh.
Breezy.
Breezy.
Yours didn't say I like talking.
No, yours did. Oh!
Saw that flicker, yeah.
Look at dude, that's so fucking
That
weird.
was me.
Oh!
That was me.
Right when I said that.
All right.
Oh, same one, same one. That's
Hello.
you over there? Can you touch this ball next to me? How about push it back?
Alternate.
How about push this ball back down the chair? Be a good way to be able to see that you're here.
19.
Hmm.
You're giving us some confusing signals. Can you let the next word that you tell us try to speak? Oh, right next to me! Right next to me!
What the heck?
Dude, that came right off!
Gosh. That's crazy.
I was sitting like this. Like, look
Just
at,
a little
if you
bit,
jiggle this,
maybe.
they don't move. They're like cemented. Was that you over
It's
there?
a maybe.
Well, obviously it was.
It's hard to say for sure, but I would totally believe it if they were none of them were sitting on them and they suddenly did that.
Dude, I mean, I got video of it from that static right there.
That's good.
I'm afraid for you.
Why are you afraid for us?
What was that?
What was that?
It sounds like it was coming from backstage.
I thought it was coming from
Hmm.
like a pulley or something.
It seemed kind of like a squeaky, like. I mean, can we talk about that ball right next to me too?
Oh, that's weird.
Hello? So you're right here, you're getting close to us. Why are you concerned for us? What is that?
Well, I thought I heard something too.
You hear that? Like,
Oh, I also have some background noise apparently going on right now.
we want you.
Woman.
Da 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 da.
We want you. And
Mm.
which one was that?
Left. Right stage.
We want you, woman, Mary.
What do you want me to do?
Oh.
Should
think
I
saw
go
a
up
little
and
bit
start
else,
the
but
movie?
It's hard to say.
I mean, we kind of didn't talk very much about that ball still. I know. It's like, that thing flew out of there. It flew out of there.
I'm just going to ask, are you connected to the funeral home?
I don't remember.
Did you come over here from the funeral home?
Lake. We are staying by a lake.
Oh. So you are connected to the funeral home. It's such a weird signal. And it's just that one. It's not any of the other ones. That's right where he said the portal was. Do you want us to go that way towards backstage? Is that what you're saying?
Seems like a yes to me.
Should we take that as a yes?
I think so. I think we should go back there.
We're going to give you 1 more minute to say or do anything you want before we go backstage. Eric!
That was his friend's name.
This friend of mine is actually the one that got me started in law enforcement. 2001, he was going to work one day, July 20th. He was headed to work and was killed when somebody didn't see him on his motorcycle and pulled out in front of him. And he was subsequently killed in the accident. And as most investigators do, they had a REM pod sitting over here on the stage right side thrust. And all of a sudden, this REM pod just starts going crazy. Can't make it stop. All of a sudden, I start hearing tones coming out of it I recognize. Being an amateur radio operator, you know certain Morse codes that everybody should know. One of those is SOS. And this REM pod started beeping out SOS very clearly. So I come down here and I sat down beside the REM pod. I said, okay, you've got my attention now. Who are you? And it beeped out another letter in Morse code. And the letter it beeped out was the letter E. And it just kept doing that over and over and over. Just beeping out the letter E. And I sat there for a minute. I said, okay, I know you're here. My friend's name was Eric.
You're right.
He just told that story right here. E-R-I-C, Eric. Yeah. Eric, are you here with us?
Yellow. Escape.
It's like, it's telling us, I feel like there's a good spirit, but there's something almost a little bit dark here. Saying, we want you, like negatives, like I'm scared for you. Like there's something good and something bad. Is there a good spirit here? Goodbye.
This angle is terrible.
Artwork, dude.
And
That's trippy.
there's all that
I was
artwork
about to
in
say
there.
we should move back there towards the artwork. So why don't we take that SLS with us and a spirit box and walk back there and see if we can ask some questions.
All right. Let's do it.
So after seeing all the REM pod activity and the ball getting knocked off the chair, we felt as if it was calling us backstage. And so we went back there, and that place was creepy.
We feel like we're being led to the back of the theater now. We're gonna head to that area, the backstage. Those lights are really bright. I'm gonna run this spirit box
Didn't realize this
while we
was gonna
go
run
back
as late
while
as it
Jeff
did. I
does
thought I
this
was
SLS.
on this a little bit earlier. Well,
Okay, whoever's back here, we're just trying to figure out who you are. Is there anybody back here with us? We have a feeling that you're related. Oh, it's cold back here.
It's really cold.
You feel that?
Mm-hmm.
It's cold like here. Right here. I have a feeling that you're related to something or somebody in the funeral home across the street. Is that true? It's like tripping out. Can you hear this?
Mm-hmm.
Who hangs out back here? It's eerily quiet.
And cold.
It's like, oh, there's one that was jumping up on here, right here, too.
Jeez.
You want to see this one? Huh? Want to see this one? Right here. All over this wall.
Can you tell us your name? What is that?
That's weird.
It's literally right in front of you.
I know.
All over. It's
Who are you? Who's right here? Is this Abigail? Is this somebody from the funeral home? Spirit Talker. It's literally picking up nothing back here the whole time we've been back
kicking
here.
its leg out towards you. Oh, it's gone.
Oh, really? The loft.
Above.
Oh, that's f***ing creepy. Mary, look behind you.
Did you go to the loft?
Ooh.
Yeah, right when it left, it said the loft. I feel something weird in here. Who's back here? Are you in here? It feels fucking weird back here.
Uh-huh. Abby, can you talk to us? What was that?
Huh?
Really?
Yeah, that thing's not picking up anything.
Abby! Mr. Deer? Can someone knock back to us?
Julie.
Julie.
That spirit box is weird.
I know.
No responses.
But didn't that happen when we were in front of the figure?
Yeah, it was giving weird signals, but it feels just like. Let's try DR60. Can we go in the hall?
Yeah.
I can feel somebody back here.
Mm-hmm. Were you in one of these plays?
Let's do a DR60 right here.
Anyways.
Who are you? Can you tell us your name, please?
What do you like to do here? Do you like to act or watch movies? Clean? Eat popcorn?
Did you act here, or were you in a play? Can you let us know by just saying, like, I'm an actor, or something to do with a play or stage?
Vicky.
Can you tell me where
names.
Abby is? Is this somebody from the funeral home? Was your body messed with and you're angry?
How many spirits are there with us tonight?
Arrest.
Can you tell me if you feel like you're in heaven or stuck?
Do you enjoy still being in this theater?
Right, once they're done here, we'll do the closed-eyed method and see what they hear.
Who are you? Can you tell us your name, please?
What do you like to do here?
Nothing.
Do you like to act or watch movies, clean, eat popcorn?
I thought I heard popcorn.
Popcorn?
I said mint popcorn.
Do you like to act or watch movies, clean, eat popcorn?
Did you act here, or were you in play? Can you let us know by just saying like
I'm a child.
an actor or something to do with the play or the stage?
I heard something.
Can you tell me where Abby is?
Something about green eyes?
Can you tell me where Abby is? Is this somebody from the funeral home? Was your body messed with and you're angry? How many spirits are there
yes?
angry? How many spirits are there with us tonight? Can you tell me if they're with us tonight? Can you tell
Can't
me
make heads or
if you
tails
feel
out of
like
that.
you're in heaven or stuck?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Rah.
not happy.
No,
So
can you
do
feel
that again.
like you're in heaven or stuck?
Ooh.
That was weird.
Would it be stuck like that? Like something like
Maybe.
Or stuck?
that? Ooh.
It doesn't sound like it's really saying words. It just sounds like an angry little rah. And that's them ending it.
It's kind of crazy. That'll be interesting when you go back and listen.
Heard a few things I didn't list, and heard of some of the things they did.
We're not really hearing anything crazy. Nobody's really feeling anything crazy. I think the strongest hits we were getting tonight were when it was talking about the owners, and then stuff to do with the funeral.
Where are my ashes?
Everything seems.
It's a fucking body, you know? Bodies. Where's my body? Where are my ashes? So I think the natural thing we need to do is go across the street and investigate the funeral home portion of this. Yeah. And see if maybe, because they didn't even bring up that thought at all, that maybe the spirits are coming sometimes from the funeral home over here. Because they said both of these are portals.
I mean, a lot of those. There's a lot of names that aren't connected to the theater.
Yeah, exactly.
Set shop.
Yeah, it's that like two or three names that aren't tied to the theater that we're aware of.
Yeah. Let's go.
Her voice.
Again, the same her voice.
Seems like there's
Okay,
some sort of
I
attachment.
think we're gonna leave the theater and head over across the street. Is there anything else you want to do or say for us before we leave? Is it safe for us over there?
Keep that on camera.
I'm in danger.
So after investigating the backstage, we noticed that the energy seemed to have died down. So that made us think. The spirit obviously wanted us to go somewhere else, but maybe it wasn't leading us backstage. Maybe it was actually leading us across the street to the old funeral home. And that was a theory that ended up, in my opinion, being true based upon the activity that we received when we crossed the street. We actually interviewed one of the employees about the history of the building and the funeral home. And some of the stories of this place are pretty disturbing. So buckle in because, yeah, this is where the episode takes a rather sharp and dark turn.
So, my name is Randy Parrish. I'm treasurer of the Lake Country Playhouse. We own the Historic Select Theater and the Annex, second stage venue here in Mineola, Texas. Right now, we're standing outside the Old English Funeral Home. This building was built in 1906, and it was originally a general store on the first floor, and the telephone exchange was up on the second floor. The second floor subsequently came off in a tornado in 1962 or 63. But around the late 60s, early 70s, the English Funeral Home bought the building and moved the funeral home in here where they started. This building is now the Curiosity Shop in one section and a real estate office in the other. But there's some interesting things that go on in this building. I guess from it being an old funeral home, a lot of things have passed through here. A lot of people have passed through here. Next door to us, down to the south here, was the doctor's office. And if you notice, there's a door on both sides facing each other. The story goes, if you didn't make it to the doctor's office, they just bring you straight over here to the funeral home. Mm-hmm. So if you're ready, we'll walk on in.
Yeah, it's kind of handy.
Yeah. He's right here. Now,
there.
all this, of course, when it was the funeral home, was open. It wasn't walled off like this. This was, one section was the chapel area, and one section was the business office and embalming areas. What you're in right now would have been the chapel. But as you see right now, it's been turned into a curiosity and oddity shop that's owned by our executive director of the theater, George Jones. He owns and operates this. But like I said, this area would have been the chapel area.
Curiosities, I see some costume bits.
And then as we pass into the back of the building, this area from about this wall back would have been where the funeral home took care of the deceased. They would bring the hearse in the back, and they would bring them in here to prepare the deceased, embalm them, casket them, get them ready for the services. We go on in the back here. Back here is where we get a lot of activity. A lot of spirits will come and make themselves known back here. If you're back here late at night, you'll hear knocking, you'll hear footsteps, you'll even hear people talking back here. Sometimes it's drunk in the alley, but most of the time nobody's out there. But back here would have been the garage area. This was the garage. That room over there was actually where they would take the bodies and start the preparation process in the next room over there. And we found that out from finding the floor drains when we were renovating when they were renovating back here. We found the floor drains from the embalming tables and things like that. But back here we've had some spiritual activity. We've had transient spirits. We've had some not so nice ones back here. We had one back here that was causing problems that it would actually attack people. Mostly people of color, and would scratch them, push them, grab them, things like that.
So
but
a spirit that's about
that's the old English funeral home.
So, who do you think would be haunting this building?
It's hard to know because, as you know, if spirits give you a name, they don't give you their full name. So we've had people come through here. We've had one that's called himself, the one I was talking about that was attacking people and scratching people and pushing people. He kept calling himself the boss man. We tracked him back to being a foreman for the railroad company when they were building the railroad lines through Mineola. And he was not a favorite person.
No, he's probably the worst kind of son of a gun. If you know anything about
he literally worked people to death
the old days,
and then would just bury them alongside the railroad.
Yeah, that kind of.
So we found that out about him. We've had some people come through here, small children all the way up to middle-aged adults that we know because they've talked to us or talked to our mediums that we use when we do investigations ourselves. But it's hard to say. In a funeral home, could be anybody. Could be anybody because everybody passed through here at one point or another, basically. You've got everybody from decedents that came in to family members that were here or to people who worked here when it was the general store or when it was the telephone office. Because upstairs, when the building was built, was the original telephone office for the city of Mineola. So all the switchboards and everything were upstairs. Sometimes we'll hear bells ringing, like telephone bells. Like somebody's calling in the switchboard. It's a lot of different entities. I can't say any one in particular, but a lot of different entities are here, passing through, transient spirits, things like that. Not so much like the theater across the street, where we know we have certain ones in the theater that are always there. They've been there. They're not going anywhere. But in a funeral home or a place like this where people have come and gone in more ways than one, it's hard to say who's here.
Have you had any personal experiences in here?
In here, I have. As a matter of fact, where we're sitting right now, if you look up, they still have Christmas ornaments hanging from the Christmas events that they were having back here. And we were sitting back here. I had my ghost box on my phone going, and another person had their ghost box going. And one ghost box, we'd hear my name be called, and then on my ghost box it would say, "Look up." And when I looked up, that red ball was swinging.
Why do you think that one's swinging right now?
Probably because they want us to know they're here.
I mean, do you see that?
Yeah.
That one, most of these are not moving.
No, and there's no air moving back here because all the air's turned off. But
what?
They want us to know. They want us to know they're here.
Interesting.
As a matter of fact, you know, I can oftentimes hear them if they want me to hear them, and I keep hearing one say, "I'm here, I'm here."
Right now?
There's one here right now. If I'm guessing right, he's standing behind me.
I mean, you guys got a clear shot of that, right?
Yeah.
Like, just point this out. Look at these are completely still.
Yeah.
Like, zero movement. And the one right above him is
Yeah.
swinging.
I know, I recorded that.
That's crazy that you pointed that out.
A lot of our spirits that we've had both in here, next door to the annex, and at the theater, I won't say they're mischievous, but they like for you to know they're there. They don't want to be forgotten. We've had several transients come through the theater when we've had mediums there with us, and they didn't want to be forgotten. They knew they were dead. They knew they had left their body, but they didn't want to be forgotten. And they'll do things just to make you know they're there, like what's happening now. It's nothing that's dangerous. It's nothing that's going to hurt anybody. I've had people that work in this shop tell me they'll be up front and they'll sound like somebody's back here. Like the bathroom doors will close or somebody will knock back here. And it's just the spirits saying, hey, we're still here. We want you to know we're still here. They're not trying to scare anybody. Although we have one spirit in the theater that likes to scare people sometimes. But nothing dangerous, nothing mischievous. As matter of fact, yeah.
I mean, look at that. It's completely
gone still again.
Yeah. Well, it's just barely now.
It's going more still at least.
Wow.
It's really slow.
So yeah.
Well, I think we definitely
We had one investigation going on. We were back here, and I had my camera system set up back here, and it was set up on a table right here, and I had the cables strung out to all the cameras, and I had a monitor sitting there, similar to the monitor you use, just sitting there, and I was sitting over here in this corner, and all of a sudden the monitor just went poof and fell over, just like somebody pushed it over. It was on a stand, just fell over. We've had things get moved around. We reviewed the video from that, and we'd see orbs moving around. We would see furniture move, when nobody's back here. Obviously, we leave the cameras running when nobody's back here. We would see furniture move and an orb fly off of it. We caught EVPs back here in the cameras. Just mostly saying, what's this? I think one of them said, get out, but there was nobody here. So, not exactly sure what that was about. But we've seen furniture move, decorations move, a lot of just mischievous but not dangerous stuff back here.
Right.
Some of the people that have even worked here are like, I'm not going back there alone. I won't go back there alone. And Crystal's laughing because she's heard the same stories. But yeah, that's the Old English Funeral Home, now the Curiosity Shop, and that's pretty much all I've got about this building.
Wow. I mean, we're definitely going to have to
dive
into this. It's almost like a mystery, like a paranormal mystery as to who could be in here.
Yeah,
you know?
Being a funeral home, similar to the theater, it could be anybody. Now, we have our handful of ghosts that we know are in the theater. They've been there ever since I've started doing this. I came into paranormal investigations very skeptical. The first investigation I ever did was at the theater. And when I came in, I was so skeptical it wasn't even funny. I went in and I even covered, we have a wall where we have the pictures of the founders. And I covered them because I didn't want somebody to go, oh, I see a figure of a older bald-headed man. No, you saw the picture out front. So I covered the pictures, didn't introduce myself to anybody, was just there. And one of the mediums came out and asked me if my name was Randy, and I said, yeah. He said, well, there's somebody in the dressing room who wants to talk to you.
Oh.
And I said, okay. I started walking back to the dressing room. He said, no. You're going to need me to talk to this person.
We also talked to a man who we just happened to run across on the street who had an experience in the back of the funeral home. And his story was shocking. It was frightening. And I really hope that nothing like that ever happens to me when I'm filming because, yeah, what you're about to hear is very frightening. And I think you'll see why I don't want this to happen to me.
Well, hello everyone. My name is James Pogue. I am the founder and lead investigator of a Facebook group called 2724 ETCPI. That's East Texas Cryptid and Paranormal Investigators. I do investigations here locally. I also do Bigfoot investigations over here locally. We're in the Curiosity Shop here downtown Mineola, and I have had some crazy experiences around here, especially in this shop where we're doing what's called a walking ghost tour, and we've been doing it every Saturday from 8:30 till whenever we're done. And we were back here just asking questions, getting a little activity. It got slow, so we decided, you know what, let's stop it. And I look up, and I've got this man's face right here in my face. And yes, I'm not gonna lie, I literally jumped out of my chair. But yes, this place is very active. And if y'all want to see where I had this experience,
by all means,
follow me.
Yeah,
sure. I don't want to trip on anything, so I'm gonna go slow. Back here is where we do a lot of our investigations, and
back in here again. Hello.
A little Christmassy in here, but I had George Jones, and I do believe Randy Parrish was with me on this, and of course our customers. We had the chairs in a circle, and I was sitting about right here. Of course, this wall wasn't exactly finished. We're doing the investigation, and next thing you know, it's time to close things up. And literally, it is pitch black in here. I mean, you could not see a hand in front of your face. And I literally saw this man. You see the eye sockets. He had facial hair, and he had this look like, you know, what are you doing in here? And I just happened to look up at it and literally jumped out of my chair. But yes, there's been a lot of activity back here. There's been a lot of activity up in the front. One of the ladies that used to work here at the shop actually saw a full apparition of a gentleman, and it was somewhere near the middle. But yeah, she didn't last long here.
I can't imagine
she
why.
Was there long
Quite
enough to
startled
see it,
and
and
able
she
to
had
see
her
some
husband
wild
walk up the
things
shop.
here.
But a lot of people don't understand this used to be a funeral, and just good things, bad things happen.
Right.
And we're just here to figure out what's going on.
A lot of things just
why you're
pass
still
down
here.
through one way or the other.
A lot of them were playful with
for
us
one
because they
reason
know
or
us
another.
now. A lot of them not so playful. But yes, this is a pretty active place.
So you were sitting where at? Like right here?
Right here.
And a man's face just came right at you.
Literally, it didn't even come at me. It was like I looked down, came up, and there it was. I mean, like it was right there in my face, and
that's
freaky. I don't scare easy, but that
you
was
don't seem
enough
like the
to
kind of
get
guy
my
to scare
attention.
easy, especially if you're running after Bigfoot.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's the kind of thing that makes you
I
go,
don't know
"Whoo!"
what his intentions were, but I wasn't going to stick around long enough to find out.
How did it feel? Did it feel like kind of like what, like you said? What are you doing here? Kind of like
it just had that. It just had that look on his face. Nothing was spoken. It just, I saw the face, and I jumped. Everyone looked around, and it was it. That was it. It was gone.
And that was just in February of this year.
This year in February. This whole town any
So
corner.
almost a year ago.
There's something going on. But yeah.
Awesome, man. Okay, so we're now in the back of...
The chair of torture.
What the hell?
There's, look at
That's a
the Christmas
quite the
chair.
phrase
That's
right off
it.
the bat.
That's a little creepy.
That is weird.
Chair of
The
torture.
chair of torture?
torture?
What the heck? Okay. I'm not even kidding you.
The chair.
That's it right here.
Okay, that's a little weird, is that
You need to
not?
sit on
That's fucking weird,
That's weird.
honestly.
Yeah.
This whole night have felt like there might be a connection between this building and the theater, just based on some of the words we were getting. We haven't been past this area, but this is the funeral home. And
Honestly, in this area alone, there's already
the
been a lot of
guy
activity.
earlier was telling us he saw an angry dude's face.
Did you hear something? Look at this.
The ball
white one.
moving.
Both of them.
Yeah, some of them are moving.
Oh.
These are right here.
But
Are they different ones?
this area was giving me the most vibes all day. The chair of torture and then that spikes. That's weird. Okay, whoever's back here, it seems like we were talking to you in the other building. And I think you might have followed us back over here.
I want you to see me.
Okay.
Dude.
Okay.
Amelia.
Yo, if you want to give us the golden ticket here and show yourself on
Think about
camera,
it.
by all means.
It's like, I want you to see me. Maybe whatever we're talking to has more power over here. And it brought us over here. Because that's the f***ing story that
Show
the guy
your
told
energy.
us
Show
earlier.
yourself.
Seeing that thing right
By
in
all
his
means.
face.
Oh.
In a chair.
Oh.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. He was.
Yeah, let's walk over here.
It's so nice to talk.
Oh.
It's so nice. Dude, it's
Yeah.
fucking feels
Hey.
weird in
Yeah.
here. Okay.
Okay.
Whoever's
Very
here.
welcome. Be friendly.
I'm gonna set this up right here.
You understand me.
I like to talk. You understand me. Okay. Whoever's back here in the old funeral home, we just want to introduce ourselves in case you weren't here with us in the theater. My name's Colin.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Connor.
I'm Mary.
If you're here with us, can you make a knocking noise like this? Or move something? Just let us know where you are. You here with us?
Didn't hear anything.
Look below.
Bodies and the drains.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, where's the drain?
Yeah, she said the drains were here.
For the embalming tables.
Who is this? Who are we talking to? Amelia? Who are you? Why don't we turn on the dual port?
Yeah.
We can go sit over there. The chair of torture.
Take picture.
Listen, listen. And take picture.
Dude, get that, Connor. Get that.
Dude, I want to take a picture.
I've been.
Can you do that again? Touch that red light? Dude, that was crazy.
That was very
that was
creepy.
that was the REM pod in the chair and this one.
Wow.
Like a f***ing big signal over there. Dude, right when we said, think about it, right when we said, let's go sit in the chairs and do the
Yeah.
dual port. Do you want us to come back and sit over there again?
Thought I heard something. Yeah. Something clicking. Or popping. Oh, sound like a ping pong ball.
So upstairs would be like.
Well, something's walking.
That was very
strange. Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking dead. Look at that. This thing's dead.
Oh.
Okay, so
motion detector's
we're sitting
done.
right now in the chairs here in the back of the funeral home. These REM pods just triggered. It seems like somebody wanted us to sit over here. Also, it said torture chair. And while we were paused, our spirit talker said, Bob, we're really here. Bullet hunt. He's over there. Trigger. That's weird. 3 hunting words. Bullet hunt trigger. We're trying to figure out who you are. Can you tell us your name?
This is my eyes, so I don't see it. What's it knocking?
My lungs collapsed.
My lungs collapsed. Were you shot?
Collapsed.
Yeah, I couldn't make it out either.
My lungs collapsed.
My lungs collapsed. Were you shot?
Sound like bullets.
Sounds like bullets, yeah.
I like the forest.
I said forest twice.
Forest hunt.
Twice.
Think about it. It's a hunter. It's a
Yeah.
hunter that's here. Trigger. I like the. Okay, so you were a hunter. Can you say yes if you were a hunter?
Drowned you.
Yeah.
Drowned you.
Make anything out of it.
That'd be a collapse though.
Did you die in a hunting accident? Maybe they shot your lungs collapsed?
How were you killed?
Baby.
Impaled would be a collapse lung.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Okay. How were you killed? Impaled.
What's your name?
Joan.
Joan.
Ooh.
Joan.
Bam, bam again.
Joan was impaled.
So Joan.
Don't be nervous.
Okay.
We're not nervous. We just want to know why you were talking about your body over in the theater and you wanted us to come over here. So you did. You wanted us to come over here. Maybe you didn't know you were dead? If you're talking to us right now, you're dead. And I'm sorry to have to break that to you. Did something happen to your body?
A bad spirit.
A bad spirit. So you wanted us to come over here. I'm trying to make sense of this. You wanted us to come over here.
What was that?
Over here.
Something telling you.
So how many spirits?
You wanted us to come over here.
Something to tell you.
So how many spirits are in this building?
So why did you want us to come over here? Is there something you wanted to tell us? You said bad spirit. Maybe you were trying to get us out of that building because there's something negative in there tonight? You got to give us some sort of a clue here. Is there something we can do for you to help you?
My name is Harry.
Tapping.
Tapping.
Yeah, there was a knockback.
Something just like hit me on the shoulder.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Tapped you on the shoulder.
Literally like
Yeah, it just said tapping.
literally like someone went like trying to get my attention. Did you just tap me on the shoulder? That was like f***ing hard. It was literally like.
Is this Harry?
I like the church.
The church.
The woods.
The woods? That's a forest.
I like the woods.
It's a hunter of some sort.
And then the church.
Yeah.
The church. It's like 3 times in that.
I like the woods. What do you like to do out in the forest?
Good thumping noise from the other room.
Who's here with us? You're a hunter. I just am confused. I'm confused as to why you wanted us to come over here. You made us feel like we should come over here. Honestly, I think we should employ the double Estes.
Yeah.
Don't you guys think? Do the dual Estes now?
It's a good idea.
You and Connor.
I would put you guys in separate rooms.
So
if
at
do
this
that.
point, Connor and I are both going to put the headphones on and the blindfold, and both of us are going to do an Estes method.
Hung.
And we're going to see if by both going under we can get more answers. Mary and Jeff are going to ask questions.
Okay.
It seems like somebody had their body messed with. They're not happy. There's a hunter here, clearly. But why? Why did they want us to come over here? I think that's the question we need to ask.
Mummy.
Mummy.
This is strange. Being in a funeral home. It's a kind of like embalming.
Yeah. Well.
You heard us.
Okay, let's do this, guys.
So, in the back of this funeral home, we were hearing all these different noises and voices. But then towards the end, the REM pod started going nuts. It seemed as if they were ready for us to do the Estes. Someone wanted to talk to us. And, as always, we like to try to experiment with new things. We decided to bring back the dual Estes method to see what else we would get.
Hey everybody, it's Colin here. Thank you for watching today's video. Hello to every single content. That 10
For the live
time
audience, hope you
spiel.
all
Try to
enjoyed.
figure out what this has led us to. Think about it. It was talking to us in the theater. It was talking about something being wrong with the body. It knocked the ball off. It was there. Kind of led us to the back. Something good was there, but it was warning us about something dark. And it even said here, a bad spirit. So maybe this hunter person is the good thing, and it's still warning us about something bad. Maybe we walked into a trap. Who knows? But think about that. You ready? Let's do this. Outdoors.
What's your name?
Ruth.
Following.
Why did you want us to come over here?
They're using.
They came to me.
Do you stay in this area right here, or do you like the theater more?
Just one.
Okay. Which one?
There's about 3 or 4.
3 or 4 people here? Spirits?
Bullets.
Okay, first of all.
For your mother.
Are you the person that was impaled?
You're not in terribly good health.
It didn't heal.
So.
Had to get back.
She's dead.
You had to get back for medical care? Or did you pass
Did
away?
I die?
Yeah, yep. Said you were dead. You did die.
This life feels wrong.
Okay, why are you here though? In this area? Why do you like to stay in this area? Is it like heaven for you, or do you feel trapped?
The girl's coming.
Is that the little girl from the theater? Do you know what her name is?
Ab.
Oh.
Abby?
I gave birth to her.
You're Abby's mother?
We are here.
Okay. So maybe.
She's there.
So Abby's mother, would she be the one that got impaled? Abby's mother, are you? Could you step forward? Did you get impaled?
What?
Abby's mother. Were you the one?
You want to fight?
Were you the one that got impaled?
Slashed?
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense. Had your lung collapsed and then you died from that? Where were you at when that happened? Like, where were you at when you got impaled?
How did this happen?
Around back.
And then were you taken to this mortuary?
Committed. The back.
So, possibly could have been killed here. Like when it was a
Right
forest.
inside.
Right, when it was a forest. No, not really built up.
Called the doctor.
Okay. Doctor's right next door.
Did the doctor help
He's
you?
healing.
Oh, he's healing.
Me. Crazy numbers.
Okay. Maybe it's two different things here. Like, the one died from impaled.
Don't listen to him.
You tell us then.
Roll the band-aids.
Do the right thing, son.
Ooh, a male voice. Betrayed me.
But I think they're brought here. Doctor's office, remember? When they bring them
To
to
hell.
the door? So maybe that's why they're here.
The movies are here.
I was just going to say, they can go to the theater.
Do you go over to the theater?
The movies in there.
I'm about to.
Can you go in between the two buildings?
I'd say they do. Do you like being here? I mean, you know you're dead.
I've had better nights. That was weird. It was like, I've had better nights.
My dad's dead. There's a little kid's voice.
Is there anything we can do to
Huh.
help you?
Thank you very much. Be good to each other. Don't listen.
It would cover it up.
There's a little boy.
Well, I think there's a lot of souls here.
What's the little boy's name?
It sounds like the guy was maybe killed. He died.
Carl.
Oh.
My baby boy. Baby.
What happened to him?
Are you like a whole family? Like the father, mother, and like Abby, and then maybe
No.
Okay. Maybe they had a brother. Abby had a brother.
He's coming.
Who? This must be a new person coming. Is it a new person?
It says that there's.
But sure there is.
Well,
There seems to be a lot of them, though.
Who's
Don't
he?
listen to them.
or you go with them.
Crazy.
There's a number.
You
Don't
will.
put me down.
Do you know Zeb?
Yes.
He's in the trees.
So can you
For
go-
nostalgia.
Do you like to think of the old days when you would do things in the forest? Was that heaven?
It's
Don't
pretty
scream.
okay.
Is that where you died?
He hurt me.
I think it's Slash.
It's over.
It's dead.
all the evidence out.
That's like, that's not like a murder. I've been.
They did a favor.
Did they try to help you? What can we do to help you?
Argue with the police.
Was your
Find me.
death
Going downtown.
an accident or a murder?
You know.
It was a murder? And did the police catch the person that was responsible?
It was the wrong way.
It's interesting.
What's wrong with me?
No. Yes.
Okay.
I think someone got impaled, maybe.
He'll hurt you.
Could have been in a car.
Can you leave?
They're still praying.
Can you leave and go into the light?
Where?
Can you go to heaven? Is there light?
You are here.
I'm not allowed.
You're not allowed to leave this place?
Who's preventing you from leaving?
This is mine.
A period of time.
I'm not feeling so well.
Again, not feeling so well.
I'm all chained. In basement.
Within the windows.
Like a lot darker than I would have thought.
Is there somebody on that side that can help you?
Loved the movie.
But the theater is like a respite from that.
Can you go to the movies?
Yeah,
to
they
get
don't
away
need more
from
drink, thank you.
This area?
I do frequently.
This is weird.
He's coming.
I kind of feel like he's coming to impale and slash. Like,
I told him that.
maybe these are people that were, killed.
He wants me
And like they don't know what's happened to them.
in that home.
Be afraid. I am.
Do you know?
James.
Okay. Do you know where you're at? Do you guys stay here most of the time? Are you kind of trapped here, and they allow you to go to
Well,
the theater? Tell us.
I'm in the South.
You're in Texas.
Know that.
Where's your baby?
Lost it. I'm confused. There's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't know if they're actually.
Quiet.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I think you have.
I didn't
to,
try.
I think you have
Take me to.
Please.
I think you have to know that you're not living anymore, and you're confused.
12.
Well, I think wasn't
You can eliminate the middleman.
the little girl,
Fairly soon.
was she 12? Abby was 12 when she died.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this Abby?
That's what I think. She's in there.
Abby, are you here?
Maybe you get enough
I
energy.
know you were 12 when you passed
Where is
away.
she?
Is she over at the movie theater?
Oh, I heard her really creepy. No. Like that. No.
And then also,
She's gone.
Yeah.
coming.
I can't decide.
He's coming. Okay, there must be like almost like a prison here or something.
Well,
And there are
Little girl. Get away!
Okay, yeah.
Ooh.
Somebody is like.
Abby, can you go back to the theater? Can you get away from the person that's holding you here?
The hunter.
Wow.
Okay, that's right.
So the hunter is the one that keeps everybody here.
I'm getting colder, by the way.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
That's what
it's
it sounds like.
there's somebody.
I think again.
In the summer.
It's getting hot.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh.
Okay, I
I think we should.
Where is she?
Okay.
She must have
Maybe
gotten
did
away.
she leave?
Where is she?
Grand movie.
Oh. Abby went
Who's
over
asking?
to the movie.
I think
That's us.
you're asking for where's Abby? Like concern.
Bring
I
it
don't
down.
think it's the other
I don't know.
guy. Maybe Abby can hide. Abby,
You got a dead
hide?
brain, boy.
Yeah. Can you hide, Abby? Is like, do you know how to hide? From
Get
this?
over here.
Settle the score.
It's Texas, bitch.
Mm.
Definitely.
Something got very negative.
What do you want to do to settle the score?
You listen to me.
We're listening.
Go. Don't do it. I'm going home with ya.
No, you have to stay here.
No, you cannot
No
ever go
following.
home to any of us, but
No following out of this place.
We will be playing games.
is there a main person who you feel you control?
Could you possibly wait?
No, who you think? Do you think you
It's
control
coming.
this place? You prevent others from leaving.
I missed her heart, or I kissed her heart.
Impale?
Hurt to something.
Hello?
I think they're
You need to work
confused.
out.
Can you?
You know nothing about spiritual?
Is there something that's holding you back? Do you not realize that you died? Do you not believe in God?
No.
Maybe you died tragically and it's hard to move on.
I'll kill you.
Well, you're not going to kill
I'm getting
me.
caught now.
You shouldn't be killing anybody.
This might be the bad person that's
151.
controlling.
Okay, what time is it? It's 2 right o'clock. Exactly 2 a.m.
You got it right. My body.
Okay, so Abby, are you here, Abby?
Stop trying to call her back.
Like a jet.
It's definitely time to run.
Like a jet.
Abby again. Okay. Why are you feeling like you have to
Not
run?
kidding.
Yep. Is there a bad person after
How many times do you have to hear bad things before you realize that's why she
Assuming
doesn't
Abby?
want to be here?
Bitch, pray.
Now that sounds like person. It's great. It's just they're both married. Yeah, I mean, bitch. Pray.
Heavenly Father.
That sounds like bitch pray, like she's prayed to him, like hunting. Oh my gosh.
Me.
Praying and hunting.
All you say. Pray for me.
We'll pray for you so you can move on.
This is
Only
better.
1 and 1. I just met you.
Can you move on to a better place where you don't have to think about how you passed away?
Worst story ever told. Couple watching you.
Are there 2 spirits here watching us? Do they want to hurt us?
God.
I gotta be done.
Oh my gosh. Tell Connor. You guys. Oh my. A lot of what you guys were saying. My camera died.
Oh my god.
I was about to pass out.
I didn't even realize how loud.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I could hear.
Quite a while, but it was so like hunting.
You know, it's almost like somebody was trapped
Oh,
here.
you said pray.
Yeah. Pray.
Like,
I said, bitch,
you said
pray.
bitch pray.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
sounded like before that, it was like, it's time to run. Whoops, sorry. It's time to run. Right? And so I think it might be Abby, this dude's after them. Right after he said bitch pray. Like, you know what I mean? The dude's
Yeah.
like fishing. and
Sounds
run,
like somebody's
pray.
trying to get somebody.
That was interesting.
Weird.
Let's talk about this later.
Yeah.
Very negative place.
Terrible.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, everybody. Thank you. for speaking with us tonight, but please, you have to stay here.
What the heck?
What is that? Oh.
Sorry. Okay, let's get out of here.
Okay, that's it.
This place has a very interesting story, but as we were doing the investigation, we almost start to realize that it might be spirits that are traveling across the road from the funeral home. From the funeral home that is haunting this location. We were getting a lot of energy and activity in the funeral home, and plenty of people were stored there after they died. And so I believe that's where these spirits were coming from. But as always, it's still a mystery. Who is this little girl? But that's a question we don't have an answer to.
So at the end of the day, the Select Theater, the Playhouse, the Antique Store Funeral Home, these are some very, very haunted places. But we walked away from this investigation
theater's very
not
positive,
really
Andrew.
clear
We're
on
sat,
exactly who might have been talking to us. It
previous
seemed
mortuary
like
seems to be
really
very
one of the
negative.
spirits was a hunter. I mean, based upon some of the evidence that we were gathering, it
And that
seemed
hunter
like
in particular
this
seems to be
person
out
had a
for
passion
people
for hunting
big
before
time.
they passed on. It also seemed like we were interacting with a playful spirit who was setting off our REM pods and knocking balls off the chairs and stuff like that. But this is one of those investigations that almost leaves you with more questions than answers. Is the theater really haunted by spirits that are walking across the street from the funeral home? Is there something more, something deeper to the story of the little girl's spirit that's seen there in the theater? What else might be possibly haunting that complex of buildings? We just don't really know. But that's why we're here, because these mysteries aren't going to be solved overnight. And I really hope that more people visit this theater and head to Mineola and try to get more answers for themselves, because yeah, it's something that I feel like I'm going to lose sleep over is the unknowns in this case. But from here in Houston, thank you so much for watching, everybody. You know how much we love y'all. We have some amazing episodes coming up very, very soon from the East
Sorry to
Coast,
hear about the
including
delay,
a trip
by
to
the
the
way.
Conjuring
Hopefully
House,
things
the
are
Lizzie
fixing
Borden
up soon.
House, so many more. And yeah, I think you guys are going to be really happy with that series. But once again, thanks for watching, y'all, and stay spooky.
Been fighting the cough soul. Episode Notorious Haunted Abandoned Hotel. Abandoned, you say? Alrighty, that's going to be it for today's episode. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you want to see more of the Paranormal Files, or if you want to see this episode on its own, do check out the link down below. If you want to see more of our work here on this channel, check out our social links, our live streams link, and also if you want to help out the channel at all, by all means, check out the merch link where you can find shirts much like this one. But that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you all again for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Pleasant dreams.